I'm here to tell my side of the story. This woman named Monique, who I was friends with for 2 years, I bought her groceries about 10 different times throughout the year 2017 before and after her husband left. I did this because I thought she was a true friend and that she would have done the same thing for me if I were in the same situation. I found out, though, in December of 17, that she was using me. It turns out that she was getting things from other people who she worked with. I no longer work. Met at work, but I no longer work there, so hence the reason I wasn't able to talk to these people and find out. I found out after this woman named Marcella, who we both used to work with, I had wrote something about Marcella's personal life on Facebook that Monique had told me, and that was basically the reason Monique stopped talking to me. On the surface, anyway. Anyway, I wrote that, I was like, oh, you and him got back together on Marcella's Facebook account, and then apparently Marcella talked to Monique about it, like, why are you telling her my business, blah, blah, blah. And then that's when I get a text message from Monique saying, gosh, Liz, just because I tell you something doesn't mean you have to tell the whole world. And I tried apologizing to her multiple times, but she just ignored my phone calls, ignored my text messages. I poured my heart out to this bitch, told her how deeply sorry I was. And meanwhile, you know what? I talked to the woman named Marcella. She's like, I don't think what you did was that big a deal. I was like, thank you. I was like, yeah, it wasn't that big a deal. But either way, Monique ignored my phone calls, wouldn't listen, and I think ultimately the real reason she stopped talking to me was because she didn't want to owe me for all those times she originally shook my hand and said that she would owe me money for all those times that I bought her groceries and for the time that I got robbed in her apartment. Yes, I did. She told me at the time, right after I found out that it happened, she said it was most likely this friend of one of her kids who was there that day and that he had gotten in trouble for stealing at Walmart. And she later told me when I came over there multiple times that year that she no longer allowed him in her house for stealing from her friend. For all I know, one of her own kids might have done it. I hope not, but yeah, she knows that somebody in that house stole my money that day. That is a lie. I'm surprised she would not admit to that and is now saying that, her kid's friend did not steal from me when I went to court over this and they ruled in my favor. I still have not seen any of that money yet, but either way, the judge ruled in my favor, and I like that. And meanwhile, the woman had the nerve to call my son Snowflake because he is 3/4 white and only 1/4 Hispanic, and meanwhile she's Hispanic and thinks that Hispanics are superior race, basically, and thinks that it's okay to call somebody a racial slur, when I know if I had called one of her kids a racial slur, she would have slapped me. And I did stand up for my son. I said, Monique, don't call him that, he has a name. She argued with me and said, that's out of love. But no, friends do not call each other's kids racial slurs. And you don't say that crap about somebody's kid who saved you and your kids from starvation, bitch. And what else? I told you about the racial slur. I told you about how I bought her groceries, got robbed in her freaking apartment. Oh yeah, she also had the nerve to call me uptight a couple of times after I bought her groceries. Friends do not insult each other, and I got mad at her for it. The first thing that came out of her mouth was, Elizabeth, the kids are gonna hear you, because they were upstairs. If she had really truly been my friend, she would have wrapped her arms around me and said, Elizabeth, I'm sorry I hurt you. Friends shouldn't do that. Yeah, you're right. But yeah, she chose to insult me instead. And anyway, I'd just like to end this by saying I did way more for that woman than she would have done for me. And we both know that. She knows that too. All the crap I did for her, she would have never done for me, and that's why I don't talk to her anymore. Thank you for your time. Bye-bye.